welcome to another episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Tara.
I'm Kaila.
And I'm Josh. And before we start, I have a random question for everybody. Has anybody ever had a bowl, like an acai bowl, or a papaya bowl, or a pitaya bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
From Chipotle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What did you have in it?
Let me try to remember now. Rice. Their salsa, corn salsa. I think
corn salsa is so good.
barbacoa. I think I had in there as far as the meat goes, and then like a queso sauce.
Okay, so it was more of like a Mexican bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was thinking more of a fruit bowl, like an acai bowl that I'd fell in love with them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah?
From where?
I went to a local business called Breezy Bowls down in Mystic Island area of Little Lake Harbor. What was, you get them from like a Playa Bowl, or where do you?
I've been to Pliable once. It's not like a frequent place I go to. I don't remember. It's been a long time. I usually get something with peanut butter because I'm a peanut butter girl.
Okay, yeah, they have that as an option.
Yeah.
But my favorite is I like the acai base, coconut flakes because I don't like granola, blueberries, strawberries, and pineapple, and then I have it drizzled with honey.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Because it tastes good, it makes me feel good.
That sounds good.
Because it feels good. It's kind of like having ice cream, but I know that it's going to be beneficial.
I find that with sushi. When I eat like a big plate of sushi afterwards, I don't just feel full. I feel like energized. Like
I can get behind that with sushi.
Yeah.
It just feels good to eat it.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I would say maybe I could see that with a seafood dish, not necessarily like if it's like having fish with sides of vegetables like mashed potatoes, and I had it was summer fluke with mashed potatoes naturally mashed and squash and zucchini. And it was at Harpoon Willie's in Manasquan.
Yeah. I had one of those bowls. I had it with acai, and I think I did banana and strawberry, and then coconut flakes, which I ended up taking out because I thought it was disgusting. And I think it was like a chocolate drizzle or something.
That's good.
Nutella's a popular one too.
It might have been Nutella or chocolate, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to try this.
I went there for a silent book club meeting, and I've been there maybe 3 or 4 times since. And usually I put in my order, I go to the men's room, and then by the time I get out, it's all ready to go. So, and that's maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's all they make it right away, but it's the way that it's paced out is perfect.
Sounds good.
But let's get right to our discussion today. It's the work that it was Tara's major pick for this season's draft. We're going to be going over this book has gotten a lot of attention as of late, and it's called The Measure by Nikki Erlick. This is actually her debut novel. Tara, you have a discussion?
I got 2 questions. The first one is, in today's world, do you think the revival of the strings would bring out the worst in people or the best? Would you view the boxes as a gift or a curse? That's my first question. My second one is, the man that was riding the bike during the music. What are your thoughts about him? And why she put it in the story? Because he was mentioned before, and he's throughout. He played such a small part. I feel like something big is there, so I want your opinions on that one. So
These were good outside of the box questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say as far as the strings, I would say that there would be a curse. I think we're not meant to know how long our life is going to be, and that is why I would say that, and I would not look. As far as your second question, I think, accepting our fate and accepting, you know, what is, accepting, like, not knowing what the future is, I think, is what she is, I think that's the point that she's trying to make more than anything, because that song, Que Sera, Sera,
That's at the end.
is, it's both times.
I thought it was something else.
It's
You changed the song.
it was always Que Sera Sera by Doris Day.
I thought it was a different song because it did different lyrics.
Maybe it
each
was
time.
different. Maybe different parts of the song.
Oh, I thought it was a totally different song each time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the same song, but yeah, I think that's we have to be able to accept our fate. I think that's the point that she's making with that, and then just putting it on the back of a bike, with a random guy. I think that's just kind of like trying to make an authentic kind of New York kind of.
I was gonna say it's very New York.
Yeah.
It's very New York.
So those would be my answers. How about you, Josh? What do you think?
What do I think? As far as whether or not, first one was whether or not you would.
Now, whether the string is a gift or a curse, what do you think?
A lot depends on the way that the person is perceiving it, because the box is a box. The problem isn't the box. The problem is the way that somebody would react to it, and in turn, and also who it is that is creating it. We never know who it is that's creating it. However, it's basically there, and if you're 22, you're going to get it, and it's not going away. And I think that what really makes this a really good book is that it plays on that role of human nature and how they are to react. As far as what I think is concerned, I would say that ultimately, I took it twofold, because I think the one question at hand is whether or not you would look. I probably shouldn't look. I think that if anything, it is a bad thing that it's come out, because I think that we're not meant to know how long we're going to live and how long other people are going to live. And it's, of course, most certainly not in our power, or it's not our say to treat others differently because of that. But I'm also the kind of person that would I just have to know certain things, and I think that the temptation would really cause me to cave in. So, I shouldn't, so it would be a curse, but impulsively speaking, it may be viewed as a gift, and I would be thinking, like, maybe if I know the structure, maybe I'll know what I need to do, but these are things I probably should do anyway. And the second question, as far as the role of, I think it's just like, I think that it's a very clever reminder, and I think that Larry really hit it on the head, where it is very, I think that she keeps the setting in mind as he makes his way, giving a very friendly reminder about the way the world works. And I think that the way that Nikki Erlick inserted all these different things was incredibly clever, and I think that that's why it has done such a good job, is because not only was she strong at being able to insert the message and incorporate it into the way of thinking of today's people, but she did it with very well-developed, well-fleshed characters. And these characters were real and authentic. There were characters that we could like, we could dislike, we can agree with sometimes. We don't always have to agree with all the time. They're human beings. So, a little bit longer than yours, but that's my answer. Kaila?
I think to answer the first part of the question about like how do I think this would be received in the world, I think that the way this book goes about this is probably a very realistic representation of how something like this would be received in like our modern current culture. I think there would be it really runs the gambit, but I can definitely see how this would be used against people, like to hurt people the way it was in the book. Do I personally think this is a gift or a curse? It's an absolute curse, hands down, point blank. This book sent me into like an emotional turmoil the entire time I was reading this book. And I even like forced my husband to make a pact with me that should this ever happen, we don't look at our boxes. But I feel the same way that you do, where the temptation would be so great to do it, or like I can't help thinking about all the people who accidentally opened them before knowing what it was, because it took a couple of months in the book to figure out what the strings represented. And I would absolutely, if a box arrived on my doorstep one day, there's a 75% chance I'm going to open that sucker up and see what's inside right away, you know? So I would accidentally curse myself by looking at it, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
yeah.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be me. Like,
Yeah, I'm not
what
worried
is
about
this?
anthrax. Like, you know, we're beyond that.
I'm like, what is this? And
Right.
I'll open it, and then I'll be one of those people that would go online because the Japanese figured out the month. I don't know.
Right, and then I'm
I'll go
haunted
on
forever
there.
because
I'll
then
go
I
on
know
there
the
and
length
see
of my
what
string.
I'm actually gonna do, and then put everything in line, which you should be already doing anyway, what Josh said. And I also think with this world today, yes, I think the book did go like pretty close, but I think we would go even further and it would be horrible.
Yeah.
It would be like the worst thing ever. Like it would be almost like apocalyptic type of thing.
I don't disagree.
Like yes, it'd be like maybe like if the time was early 2000s, if this happened, it would play out just like this in the book. But today, no. Like if it happened yet tomorrow, like no. Like
Yeah.
we would the world's done. To be honest, to be truly honest with you, because every government, well, even in the United States, you would have to open up your like the one with the China to open up your box.
They forced you.
And then
register
it and put it in. They'll do what China did in the book, and then I think China will do a lot worse. I think they'll actually kill the people who have really short strings.
I mean, that's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, though, throughout this. Is like
It is.
the short stringers get this bad reputation for being these like violent people who are committing all of these crimes and stuff like that. But what really like struck me going through the book is that like, yes, there might have been like a small concentration of those things happening in that first year after this occurred. But that doesn't stop after that. The people with long strings are eventually also the ones committing the crimes, you know?
They
like
also commit crimes
right,
too.
right.
And they're pushing their like limits to the string.
Right.
On top of
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to answer the other one, I think, I don't think he was an ordinary guy on a bike with a music message. I think he was something else.
Interesting.
Prophet.
Could have been a prophet. He could have been, not behind the boxes, but like knew about the boxes before everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I think he was more. I don't know if like the author intended to him to be more, but I saw it as more.
It's probably, it could have just been a PSA though too.
Mm-hmm.
Just a reminder, life goes on, and you can't stop living.
Like he's just like everybody else, and this is his way of communicating.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe he could like you, but like I also think he might do just a little bit more.
like the hashtags that they do strung together. That's his way of doing
reminding
it.
him that we're all one people.
Mm-hmm. But I did at the beginning. I wrote down every character because it said that we were following 8 different characters, and so I did that. And you have Nina, who's an editor, and then Mora, who is Nina's girlfriend, eventually fiance and wife. And Nina's an editor. Mora works for a publishing company. And then you also have Ben, who's an architect, who ends up becoming a pen pal to Amy, who's Nina's sister. Then you have Hank, who's a doctor. You have Anthony, who's a presidential candidate, or he's a congressman that becomes the presidential candidate and then president. You have Jack, who's his nephew, and you have Javier,
Javier.
Thanks for pronouncing it, because I would have said Javier. But
Javier.
Javier. Javier is Jack's roommate, and both of them are heading into the army.
Mm-hmm.
But and then there's so many different ways that you could, and it's told from each of their perspectives.
And it's also like, to point out, it was also in like spring, fall, summer, winter.
Yep. It's,
Yeah, it follows basically like that first year until the very end. That first year of the strings coming out.
Yep.
They go back to the spring. I
Yeah.
was going to say string, but then,
Same.
and then they go to several years later.
Yes.
Which I think, I mean, it's tough because they probably could have been more organized, where they could have said so and so this many years later, because it's. But then again, it does at that point. It just jumps the timeline because they want to be able to properly conclude everybody's story, which I could respect that
Yeah.
aspect because I didn't know what point it was going to what it was going to do. But
I think probably the most profound point in that book is where Amy and Jack are both killed, and Amy never looked.
I mean Ben.
Ben, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where Amy and Ben are both killed in that car accident.
Yeah.
Amy never knew,
Mm-hmm.
and if she had known, would she have had children?
Yeah.
And I think, that the fact that knowing can really alter the decisions that you make in your life. And I think that was probably the most profound aspect of the book. That's the part that made me, think.
Yeah.
What made
that
it
not knowing doesn't
What made
change
it an even bigger twist was that Ben was already going for treatment for cancer,
Yeah.
and the fact that they got killed on their way to a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
But let's let's go over favorite and least favorite character. I think that most of us are probably gonna have the same least favorite character.
Anthony.
But
I no. I kind of wish he had a short string. And then his wife, she needed to develop more of a backbone and stand up for her.
She was on his side.
Like, even though she was on his side, but she needed more of a backbone because she seemed like she had a different thought when she realized, hey, maybe her, was it nephew?
Yeah.
Nephew might have it. He didn't really had a short string.
No.
It made her rethink it, and then he brought her back in with his silky words.
Where she
she
had
was
like
a phony. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't really think she was ever genuine because she played that, like she played the, like she embraced her Christianity, but more so just the fact that it made her a good person rather than actually
Being
believing
a good person.
in what Christianity stands for.
I didn't think she was a good person. I'm just saying, like, that little point, like, made me think, well, maybe she might change her mind a little bit.
Yeah,
but
she had
not
like
really.
a moment of clarity.
Yeah,
but
and then
stick.
it didn't stick.
Yeah.
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 And how about your favorite character?
My favorite character, you'll be surprised, Javi.
Javier.
Heather?
Well, Javier, but short for Javi or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Javi?
Mhm. Yeah, like it. I viewed him as like the typical American who wants to go into the military and do really well, no matter what your string his string was.
I feel like his
I felt
storyline was exceptionally beautiful because he had a short string and accepted that short string.
Yes.
Like, he wasn't interested in trying to change it. He was interested in making the most out of the time that he had.
Yeah, and he was a great soldier, and he. I think he was like a true American, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like, he was
yeah.
like what we ideally think of American is.
Yeah, which is ironic because he was an immigrant.
Yeah, he was. Mhm.
How about you, Larry? Favorite and least favorite?
I would say Ben was my favorite. I liked the relationship that he had with his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a very touching scene when he finally told them that he was going to
I
die.
agree with that completely.
Yeah, so I would take Ben, and I also like his and Amy's relationship and how that blossomed. We got to
I love
watch that come
that
together.
little
Yeah.
And
the love letters. That was my favorite part too.
yeah, and then least favorite obviously is Anthony because he's manipulative and trying to use these strings as an opportunity to to advance himself at the cost of
The people.
millions of people. Yeah, so obviously, I think that's going to be everybody's least favorite.
Yeah.
Kaila?
Anthony is my least favorite, but I want to give a second shout out to my second least favorite, which was Jack, who like came around in the end, but throughout the whole story, I kind of just wanted to yell at him because I feel like he was really like throwing himself a pity party for a lot of the book and like wasn't able to see things from Javi's perspective, and it was really frustrating to like kind of like he couldn't see things from the other side. He was so caught up in how things were going to affect him when he's the one who wanted to make the switch the whole time. And then I think my favorite character was probably Amy, because I thought she was just a really well fleshed out good character. I could relate a lot to her.
I knew.
She's a reader. And I liked that she didn't let the string change what she wanted. Like, she went...
She didn't look at it.
Yeah, she didn't look at it. And I like that she was able to put aside Ben's short string to accept the love that she wanted from him.
I think the fight with her sister made her realize.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that song came.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done, actually. Amy's coming around on that, right? Because at first she was like, there's no way I could...
Love a short stringer.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She opened the box. That whole other ethic thing, too, like, open up people's boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get to that with my lay down. I'm with Larry, where my favorite character is Ben. Because probably because it seemed like his was just... I just really admired his story, and I think that he seemed like just a good guy, not perfect, but yet just reasonable, relatable.
I agree.
And I liked the letters that he exchanged with Amy. That he actually, the first one wasn't even meant. It was meant for It was meant for like a neutral subject. Like they said, it was in the short string support group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They said to write a letter, and he left it there, and she happened to read it and write back, and that's how it all started. But I would say Anthony was the biggest scumbag in the book, because he used this whole situation for his political gain, and the way that he treated other people, to them, everybody was like a stepping stone for him to succeed. But I would say that I didn't like Claire. She really wasn't played a role, and you could...
Ben's ex-girlfriend, right?
Ben's ex-girlfriend,
Claire, yeah.
because she did
look... She
She looked at the box, which it wasn't hers to look at. It was his to do so. And then not only break up with him, but do so in a way that...
Made it about her.
It was about her rather than...
It was all about her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not even like just... and I did like Ben's parents, not just because of the way that they were supportive when they found out, but also at the very beginning when he was on the plane and did you hear about these boxes? Oh yeah, we got them at our door. We put them in the closet. We're not worried about them right now. Or we'll check. Or just like they kind of remind me of my my one set of grandparents.
Yeah, they're just like retired, living their best life.
I just wondered if they like kind of had a feeling what it was, and they're like, "Well, we don't care."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if they knew what it was about. They could, if they did. It was they just. To them, they weren't gonna. It was
nonsense.
Yeah.
They had other things to do.
It was kind of like junk mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like, and I also liked Hank.
Hank was a great character. I was very sad over what happened to him.
And I think it was cool that he didn't want to go into the very, very short string support group because everyone was like too upset, and he didn't want that. So he went into Ben's group, and he made like really close friends, and they didn't realize how short his was.
Yeah.
And then him to die because he witnessed something in the hospital about shooting. And I really think they should have seen the person with the very short string anyway. Because obviously you can't like predict that gonna happen, but like they should have seen him anyway. They shut him up.
Yeah.
But like, for story, that needed to happen, and then he didn't want that, so he like went, and then the lady's like, oh my god, it wasn't meant for you, it was actually meant for Anthony.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot too, that how Anthony is.
Because of what happened during college, because he was involved in frat activities that resulted in very bad results.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Serial killer.
mm-hmm.
Definitely serial killer.
What else? And then I haven't said a lot about Mora, which I think that she was a very. I think that her and Nina's relationship was very crucial.
Yeah, that was like the crux of the whole.
Yeah,
thing,
I would
right?
say it was the main.
Yeah, I think Mora and Nina are like your kind of like center of the road characters. I think they both represented the most like level-headed people in the group. Obviously, Nina has a long string, and she's in love with a short stringer. So you kind of see, but for her, it was never a choice of like, do I want to continue my relationship with this person? It was obvious, which I think is how most people would probably feel, or at least how I believe would like to believe people would feel. And I think Mora was like the most level-headed short stringer. Like it affected her, and she did the best she could with the years she had left.
But I think that they were also perfectly human too.
Yes.
Between like Nina looking through all. I mean, she was checking out the short stringer information because she was worried.
Right. She loved Mora.
Yeah.
She wanted to support her.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that that's a common way to, like, if you're worried about something, you're gonna scroll about it online to see if you can get answers.
Research.
Yeah. Especially if you're as type A as Nina was.
Mm-hmm. Especially if, like, let's just say it wasn't a short string, like cancer, and you find out your partner has cancer, and you're gonna like search everywhere online.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna start with WebMD, and then you're gonna go deep diving and everything, and then you're gonna go to Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I felt that really stuck out is that gender, race, background, and culture, they played a role, but yet they didn't, because it wasn't like it didn't signify whether or not they were a good or bad person, because anybody can be a good or bad person.
Yeah.
I think and it didn't even, like, I didn't know that Mora was black until page 66.
I was going to say that, yeah, until she has, like, a breakdown and mentions how, like, she has all of these, she's black, she's a short stringer, and how it all, like, stacks up against her.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, at first I thought that they were roommates. That was my first impression.
They're very close roommates.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
they're very close roommates.
It turned out that they were girlfriends. I mean, the way that it was written, that was my first impression.
Yeah.
So
I knew right away they were together.
Mm-hmm. But and then you have like Sean, who's in a wheelchair. He's a very supportive character.
Mm-hmm.
Terrell is a pretty interesting character. The one that, or I think that was his name, or the one that he stole his ex-boyfriend's watch.
Oh, yes. Yeah, in the support group.
Yeah, he was
mad.
Yeah. Yeah, but even those, like, side characters that you only see in a couple of scenes feel, like, fully fleshed out. You know that they have lives that exist off of these pages.
You had Leah, who was having the her
baby.
Her brother, her brother and brother-in-law's babies.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea was the other one.
Yeah.
In the group. But, I mean, it was I think everything about this was perfectly human.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. You want to say something, Larry?
No.
We've been through that before. Does anybody have any final thoughts?
Do you?
I would say if there was one thing that I would touch upon, and I would say it's a bit of a criticism, is that I would classify this as something that is dystopian. But I think that because it does ask that speculative what if about something that's detrimental in life. But oftentimes, you can't make a political argument to it. Where I think that my criticism for this is that I do have a sense that there is, I mean, of course it's political, but I think that there is, I think she's arguing in favor of a certain side.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I am a progressive liberal. How do you like that? The book.
But I don't think I think that there was a bit of, I had a bit of concern, like when Jack said that he'd rather see an experienced Secretary of State or a former Vice President. And they don't even mention, they only mention a primary. And to me, like, Wes Johnson, he was a good guy. I would argue that. But he doesn't seem like he's the party. I mean, it's interesting, and I think it was smart on her part not to have a party, but you could pretty much tell. She's trying to make it look like that you can't, kind of like what Toni Morrison does in Recitative, where you really can't figure out the race of the two major characters. But I get the idea. She's trying to make it so that usually in a primary process, people, they don't always, there are certain things that may set them apart from the other, but she's trying to make it, I think that she's trying to set out to do something, but I don't think she does I think that she stumbles as far as that's concerned.
Sure.
As far as the political aspect is concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, I know John Grisham is at least forward with his reader. I read between the Pelican Brief and the Brethren, he did a very good job laying out a primary process. And even in the Pelican Brief, you can tell that he is in favor of one side, but he's honest with the reader as far as that's concerned. And he has that insight because he used to be a representative before he became a writer.
Maybe she didn't want to push like any agenda. Maybe she wasn't trying to.
I think that there are things that she was pushing. I think that there were things that I could understand that she wanted to accomplish, and I think that she does a good job as far as dealing with the political concerns involving the strings, which a lot has to, like the bringing people together and the hashtags and whatnot. But when it comes to existing issues, she I think, wants to try and say something, but
I must have missed it.
difficulty going about saying it.
I probably must have missed that type of stuff, because when it comes to, like, political stuff like that, they're trying, unless it's, like, right in my face, it goes right over my head.
Well, if you
like
are a progressive liberal, then this might just like be like water off a duck's back. But as somebody who isn't, this book is very political. It's very in your face throughout. But the entire time, it's like, yes, the liberal progressive, where the only bad thing that you can be is somebody who discriminates, and that is the only thing that is wrong. Right? Everything else is just go for it, do what you want, be free. I mean, it is liberalism in a book, is what it is.
But I think that's what it, I think you could read, I think you could see that in the, like in the crevices. But I think that, beside that, I think it's still a good book. I think it's still a really good book. And I think there's still really good characters, really good speculation, very good storyline. But
I see a lot of missed opportunities as far as the premise is concerned. Like, let me ask you this: if you were voting for somebody, or considering voting for somebody who was going to, who you knew was going to die in office, what would the first thing you would want to know be about? Like, what I'm asking you, like, if you know that somebody's going to die in office, or you're worried that somebody's going to die in office, who are you going to look at?
Their vice president?
Yeah, it's not even mentioned. Like,
That's a valid point.
They
Yeah.
don't. I mean, they don't even. They skip the general election altogether. They just go through. They don't even like. They don't talk about the Iowa caucus. They don't talk. They don't even talk about like. They don't. They don't talk about Iowa. They don't talk like or New Hampshire even the like the first rounds of the primaries.
Well, I don't think like the whole point of the story is the election. I think it's the humans, the characters are at the center of this story. I don't think the point of this story is the election. So, like, I don't think that you need to have all of these tidbits about who won the primary and who won the caucus and who did this and who did that, because that's not at the center of the story.
No,
If
but
it's
I mean,
political drama, then sure.
If this is trying to be an authentic thing, in which the presidential election it's a big part of the story, we should at least have them consider, well, who's going to be my running mate? Should we
Yeah, I
think
do
that-
think that's actually a valid.
And he could have looked at some of the former, like some of the other people, but then again, we know that Anthony ends up winning, and then he wins the presidency, which I was thinking that something bad was going to happen to him, where karma was going to strike back,
I was hopeful.
where he'd have a long life, but it wouldn't be with Catherine, and it would be behind the prisons. I think in a way, like things like that, I think it goes to show you that the world still has a lot of fixing up to do, and you can't rely on the establishment or the people in power to make it happen. You got to take it in your own hands, because they're just a bunch of opportunists that are going to keep doing what they're doing, and you got to do your best to do what you can within your power to change the culture from among the common people, and then hope and make the effort to elevate that to the leadership.
Okay, another example. Javier dies while serving in the military. He has a long string as far as the military
Yes,
goes.
because they switched, which is a major part of the story.
Yeah, but that part, okay, is just kind of like thrown away. It's like there would be a huge investigation into what happened. How did was this actually somebody who received a long string
I do
and
feel
then
like
died?
they mentioned that.
They did, Jack ultimately put in a confession with Maura, who ended up revealing it to the press, because Maura she started overseeing the Wes Johnson Foundation. So it does come out that it does happen.
Well, that would be a major scandal.
It would be, yes.
Yeah, instead of just being brushed away.
Yeah.
Like it was in this story. Jack would probably be arrested for fraud. There would be a major investigation into that, and it would cause all kinds of problems. Because is this the only incident where that's happened, or are there others? How many people are doing this?
I mean, as much as he's a prick, Anthony probably could have pardoned him too. Not necessarily because there was no good feelings between them, but it was still his nephew, and he probably doesn't want to look like a terrible family member.
Yeah, but it is an instance of fraud. Like there would be an investigation. Is my point. This would not just be something that just, oh well, he got us. The military is not that way. They would not look.
How did the military probably would do their own investigation, but then the book would be a lot longer than it is.
There'd be a court martial
She would
for
have to.
starters. I mean, he was still in the military. He just wasn't. He wasn't able to serve, in the capacity that that Javier did, but he was still, he had a desk job. They would have done something. It wouldn't have just been brushed over like that. So, I mean, I just think that there's a lot of things like that. How much effort is put into finding out where these things are coming from? Like, there's nothing about that. It's just like everybody just kind of accepts that this happens. The first time when everybody gets one, I can understand. Nobody's expecting it's caught off guard. But now you know that every time somebody turns 22, there's going to be this string is going to appear. So where's the examination? Where's the pursuit of finding out the source of these things?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. And I mean, I can understand what means, but I think that there'd be a speculation into knowing where it came from and how it got there. And how those people had that knowledge, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because there's certain, I mean...
There was a blip in the book where someone tried, like, you know, like a ring type of thing?
Yeah.
So when they tried to see if who did it, it, like, blurred out, or a white light, or it really didn't, like, work out to see who it was, and then the box is just there. It was a blip. It's like something you would, like, miss.
Yeah. No, I saw that, but it's not satisfying.
No, it's not.
And again, that was at the beginning when it was just starting, too. Like, after that, everybody's got, you're not caught off guard where you can actually set something up and say, okay, like a group of people would be, okay, tomorrow's your 22nd birthday, we're going to stay up all night and see when this thing comes from, where it comes from. I mean, just something like that. There's this, or if it doesn't have to come on the very day, then, you could have, like, around the clock, and try to see how long you could keep looking on this person's doorstep before this thing arrived. So, it's just, things like that. There's probably more I could come up with, but those are the three that struck me as reading.
Alrighty then. How would we rate this? 0 to 5 stars, half stars permitted, Larry?
I didn't like it. I talked about the parts that I did like, but overall, I would go 1.5.
5.
Yeah, this was a 5-star read for me.
Yeah, I saw you had it as a 6-star read.
I would give it 6 stars, if you allowed me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5 because I thought that it was a really good book. Aside from the fact that there was a lot of, I think that there was imperfections as far as the structure, as far as her grasp on the political aspect of things was.
It's also her debut novel, and I think it was really good for a debut novel. Her debut, so, like, this is, like, if she's starting out kind of strong like this, and a few blips here and there, who knows what she's going to do in the future. And I think she already had another book out, like Poppy something.
I would be inclined to read more of what she has to write, and I'm interested to see what kind of direction she takes.
It's
I hope that she doesn't get typecasted into these kinds of works. I mean, she can do things of a particular genre, but make it a bit more unique, examine something else.
To me, it was very immature, naive, not really grounded in reality, so I didn't like it. But also, I would like to say that there is very little about this author as far as information. Like, I don't know if you guys try to find a biography.
Because she's relatively new.
There's no information about the author that I could find. Like, because I said it did strike me as being very immature. When I went to find out how old the author is, I couldn't even find that. Like, there's like nothing available.
I think she's going to make more appearances, and I think we're going to learn more things. I mean, it does, according to the back of the book, she's a writer and editor. She's worked for many of magazines and websites, and she has a bachelor's degree from Harvard and a master's from Columbia. And then she's also on Instagram, X, and she has her own site.
I don't call X, I just call it Twitter.
Okay.
But this is my copy. I have a special edition, only because I didn't want the Jenna sticker on there, and it was the time.
Oh, okay.
So, like, by the time I paid for this, then the paperback that you have that doesn't have the sticker on, like the non-removable sticker.
Wow, gold leaf, huh?
Yeah, I don't like things that have. I'm not into those stickers. I'll show you my. I'll see if I'll have to. I'm gonna go see if I have my copy of the Reader.
And then there's this one too, in there. So. It's beautiful. I'll let you guys see the bottom how it's like gold because I tabbed it. And Carol's a solid color. If it's a solid color, I'll tab it. If it has design on it, I won't.
Did you read this prior to recommending it, or?
It's the first time I read it with you guys, so I didn't pick.
It's interesting. This is my copy of the Reader. You notice something?
No.
The group of the flowers in the string. There's
No,
one.
that too. But
The sticker
yeah,
that
the-
won't move.
that's the Oprah stamp.
Oh.
I put something over it so that it didn't have the Oprah stamp on it.
I just can't stand the unremovable stickers. Like, okay, how about put like the book club or whatever, like in the in page or the actual title page, have it there, or have a sticker on it that you can remove it, even if it's like a book, like a chosen thing. It's like a book with Jenna or
That's because of Jenna Bush? That sticker?
yeah, like
Yeah,
the
Jenna
book with
Bush also has Jenna Bush Hagar has her book club. She's on the Today Show.
Yeah.
or Reese Book Club or Oprah Book Club, whatever book club that has an official sticker, maybe the GMA Book Club or whatever. Don't have it on here. We book readers hate it. We do.
The publishers love it.
Hmm.
If somebody on national television recommends a book, they're dancing the jig.
Or put it on the back, right next, like right before you get to the author blurb on some things. Put it in between where you have like there's no blurb, but like nowadays it's just reviews. So have it like the space and then about the author and have it there.
Put the Literary Gladiator sticker on it, but you can take it off if you don't want it.
There you go.
Exactly.
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this episode here on Literary Gladiators, and be sure to join us next time for another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now, keep reading.